This project started when I got an assignment from Marie Claire in the States, Marie Claire magazine in the States, who asked me to spend 3 days with the Child Protection Unit in Port Shepstone to document infant rape. So when I was at the Child Protection Unit, I actually could not believe how many children were coming in. So I came to Joburg because I decided I wanted to do a photo essay on child sexual abuse, and it really started from there. I was molested when I was 5 years old, and you know, it must have lasted, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I have no idea, but the impact was incredible. I mean, the shame, the guilt, I mean, I didn't mention it to anybody till I was, you know, well in my 20s. I think what I brought to the project was that I understood that shame and that guilt, and the problem with having a camera when you're dealing with somebody who's just been sexually abused, it's almost like pointing a finger. So I was very careful to make sure, first of all, that I had the permission from the parents, but also that if the child was of an age that they could understand, that they understood that they could say no, because I wanted to make sure that they never felt out of control again. Initially, the project was really about the photography and trying to tell the story visually without showing any faces, which was not easy, and it kind of killed the creativity, which was a bit difficult as a photographer. But at some point, I really was hearing stories and things that I felt were so important to tell. So maybe 3 years into the project, I thought I should start doing interviews. I really wanted people to understand every aspect of child sexual abuse. I felt it was really important to understand why they do it, what they're attracted to, what makes them tick, and what their own childhood was. I grew up in a very black and white world. This is right and this is wrong, and there's no grey zone. And here it really knocked my foundation, because a lot of these people, I mean, they're abusive, manipulative, they look like pedophiles, but actually the majority look like your dad, your brother, your uncle. They're funny, they're intelligent, they're creative, they're you know, it was shocking. And I think that just, that sent me to counselling. Because it really, after working for years with the police, and you know, every time you hear one of these stories, you think, if I ever see this guy, I'm going to kill him. And then you sit here day in and day out in a room of these men, and I didn't hate them. That was difficult. I didn't condone what they did, but I didn't hate them. There was definitely anger, but somehow I must have used it to continue the work. Now that I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs, hoping these books sell, I'm really feeling the anger, and I'm really struggling with it. At the time when I was doing it, when I was working with the police, you do feel the anger. And you know, I can tell you that you know, any perpetrator who has been caught after committing a brutal rape or murder of a child is very lucky to still be alive, because it takes about every bit of self-control by the police not to want to kill him, because they all have children and most of them would have seen the crime scene. There's, you know, a lot of negative reports on the police, but I really am a great fan of the South African police services. I think, yes, there definitely are problems, but the officers I worked with were dedicated to the detriment of their own families. You know, many are divorced, you know, it's just, and to work with crimes against children is not easy. I think that child sexual abuse will never be, you know, exterminated, but I think it will definitely can be reduced significantly. Firstly, if good parenting, it's not about money, it's about providing a good, secure, loving home for your child. You will find less children will be sexually abused if they come from that home. That's not to say that it won't happen, but also less perpetrators will be developed, because these perpetrators are coming from very, very abusive homes. Another thing that I think is really important, that people speak out, not only about the abuse of their child, it's about their child being validated and understood. There's so many ways to stop this, and there really is no excuse. One of the most critical things is that the justice system keep these perpetrators behind bars. For me, the book is over, but there's life after the book, and that would be about having talks, about raising awareness, about using the book now to get out to the people that I think would benefit from it the most. I think the more people talk about their abuse, the more they share, the more other people will share, and the less guilt and shame they will be carrying, so they will feel, it's healing. But also it will stop other types of abuse. And I think understanding the way perpetrators work and being able to identify is really important in keeping your child safe. So I think that's what I'd be working on now, is advocating